In this lecture, we will study how to construct a finite automaton from a given regular equation. So, we will see an example of the same. So, here we will follow a method called Thompson's construction to find out a finite automaton from a given regular expression. What is the steps that we need to follow? It's a very basic or simple algorithm. Firstly, we will reduce the regular expression into smallest regular expression. Means we will just reduce the regular expression. We will just find out the minimal form of the regular expression in which it can be expressed. So we will just eliminate the unnecessary things that is present in the regular expression firstly. Then we will convert this form to NFA, because we all know for designing a finite automata we will start with guess and check. So firstly, if we start with guess and check, obviously we'll come with an NFA, and since NFA is a non-deterministic finite automaton, so a standard way of representing a finite automata is obviously a DFA. So ultimately our goal will be to convert that to DFA. In this lecture I will show you how to convert this regular expression into NFA only, right? So because as we all know that how to convert an NFA to DFA, you can do it of your own. Firstly, we will see some representation of regular expressions in form of finite automata. And the very basic examples are given. Say we are having an language or an expression named A. So if we have to make the machine accepting the expression A, so we need only two states, one is initial, another is final. So when it will get an input A, it will move to the final state. That's it. Next, if the string is not only A but AB, so for making the automata accepting the string AB, we need three states, at least three states. So firstly on getting A, it is moving to an intermediate state. After that, when it gets an B, it will move to the final state ultimately. Similarly, if you get an expression called A plus B, what is the meaning of A plus B? Either it will accept A or it will accept B. Fine. So for both the inputs, we may move from initial state to the final state, right? So A plus B means either A will occur or B will occur. So on getting any one of the symbol, we may move to the final state. Now another case may be like this: A plus B star. So what we can do for this, we can merge the states, two states together. If you ask me that can we do the same thing for the previous example, can we merge those two states? No, we can't, because there the restriction is given only single A or single B. So we have to make the machine work like that. Here number of A and number of B can be anything, or it may be null string as well. Since star is given, number of A and number of B can be 0 as well. So on getting an empty string, the machine can accept. So this will be the representation. Fine. So now we will see what we will do. Following Thompson's rule, we will make an finite automata from the given regular expression. So our first job will be to construct an NFA with the null moves from the given regular expression. After that, we will remove the null transition from NFA, and ultimately we will convert that NFA into its equivalent DFA. I have not done the last part, that is I have not converted that NFA to equivalent DFA, because I have already shown various examples based on this, how to convert an NFA to DFA. You can do it of your own very easily. Okay, so this is the regular expression given, and we have to find out its equivalent DFA. What is the expression given? 1, then it is followed by 0, any number of 0 or any number of 1s, and ending with 0. So my string will be like this: it will start with 1 and end with 0. In between there can be any number of zeros or any number of 1s. So firstly, if we if we start with guess and check algorithm or guess and check procedure to build an NFA, so what we will do, we will first start our string with, it is easily recognizable that we have to start our machine with 1, right? So q0 will move to another state with one input, and on the other hand it will end with 0. This is fixed, but in between, since it may get 0 or 1, so we have shown here epsilon transition, because since this is a guess and check paradigm, so what we can do for a particular input, for null transition we can move to another state and can show the means the transitions of 0 and 1 over there only, right? So this is the way how to build epsilon NFA we have seen in our example. So what it is doing, on getting 1 at the beginning of the string, it will move to a particular state. After that we have shown one epsilon move. After epsilon move, it is moving to another state. There it may get n number of zeros or n number of ones or both, and we can make it stay over there only. And for another epsilon transition we can move to another state, and since it is mentioned that on getting a 0 it will end up, so we can make the 0 transition and can move to the final state. Now what will be our job? Now our job is to remove this epsilon transition and just to build an NFA. So how it will look like now? So if we move the epsilon transition, if you follow the previous diagram, there if we remove the epsilon transition, so we can say for directly 1 it can move to q2, means we know for guess and check we have just guessed and built this epsilon NFA. Now we can predict that if we even remove two intermediate states, still the this thing is possible, right? So we will just move to remove two intermediate states, that is q1 and q3, and we will finally come up with this. Now it is very easy, this is an NFA, so you can easily construct a DFA of it. We have seen many examples before, and just if you convert this NFA to a DFA, your job will be done. Fine. Next we will see how to remove null moves from finite automata, right? We will see that if some automata is given or some finite machine is given where null moves are there, so how can we remove those null moves and can come up with a fresh machine? So let us read out the steps which we are going to follow in the next slide. If an NDFA, means a non-deterministic finite automata, is there with epsilon move between say vertex x to vertex y, or you may say between state 1 to state 2 or state q0 to q1 or whatever it is, between two states, if null move is there, we can remove it using the following steps. What are the steps we need to follow? Find all the outgoing edges from y. So please remember this point. If we are just featuring our machine like this for transition between x to y, we have to find out what are the outgoing edges from y. Fine. Next, copy all these edges starting from x without changing the edge labels. We will copy the whatever the edges are there coming out of the x, and maybe we will not change the edge labels. If x is an initial state, we will make y also an initial state, and if y is a final state, we will make x also final state. This is nothing. So you can say this is the thing what we have done previously, right, in the previous example only. So if there is a null move between x and y, what we are doing ultimately, we are just merging these two. So if say x is the initial state and y is the final state, and if there is a null move between these two, we will treat them as a single state only, right? So it will be both initial and both final. Let us see an example, it will be clearer to you, right? So this is the example given. You can see that an epsilon transition is there between q0 and qf. So our job is to remove this one. How to do it? We cannot just remove this and can't do anything, right, like that, okay, because various transitions or various one more step or one more state q1 is involved, so we have to do it in a different fashion. So here the epsilon transition is between q0 and qf. So according to the previous theorem, we are considering q0 as our x and qf as our y. So what we have to do now, we have to find out what are the outgoing edges from qf. What are the outgoing edges from qf? It is only qf to qf for 0 and 1 input. Please keep it in your. Next, step 2, what we have to do, we have to copy all the edges from Q0 without changing the edges from QF. So what we are doing, we are just copying. You can see here that Q0 is having two edges. Here Q0 we are comparing with X. What are the edges? One is, it is going to Q0 with 0 and another is going to Q1 with 1. So what are the inputs? It is we have to copy both 0 and 1. That's why here new edge we have added, means we have just removed the epsilon and has put it 0 1 here. Okay, next what we have to do, next we have to mark Y. If X is an initial state, we have to mark Y as the initial state according to our theorem. So here our X is Q0 and Y is QF. So we are marking QF as initial state as well. You can see here QF has been marked as initial state also. Now next step will be, if Y is our final state, we have to mark X as the final state also. So here our X is Q0, Y is QF. So what we will do, we will mark Q0 as the final state. So ultimately your NDFA without null moves will be like this. Remember, this is NDFA, not DFA. So for a particular input it can move to more than one symbols, and there may not be any movement for any symbols as well. Okay, and this is the end of today's lecture. In the next session we will learn pumping lemma for regular language. This is one of the vital topic in this section. Thank you.